Harare's water system needs maintenance, expansion opinion, but at the moment Harare is treating 295 million liters a day, about 40% of what it should be pumping, and even then 60% of the total just vanishes mostly through leaking pipes. So out of the design capacity of 704 million liters we see 118 million liters, just over 16%. The second problem, adding to the costs, is that Harare and other local authorities dump poorly treated sewage into Manyam and into the streams that eventually flow into Lake Chavero and Lake Manyam, the two major supply dams, although some pollution does reach the paired Seek and Arava dams that feed the Prince Edward water treatment plant, capable when running properly of treating 90 ml a day, while Morton Jaffray should be treating 614 ml a day. Harare, Chitingwiza, Epworth, Rua, and Norton need to be supplied by these two plants, and while it is estimated that the people and businesses in the five authorities need around 800 ml a day, the 700 ml that the two plants were designed to produce is, with care, enough while the government-built Kunsvi Dam and other infrastructure is developed to keep pace with the growth of the metropolitan area. To a very large extent Harare metropolitan and its surrounding towns are not short of raw water, so the problem is quite different from Bulawayo, where the water shortage cannot be fixed until the Gwei-Shangani water starts flowing around the end of next year. Admittedly, Seek and Arava dams did dry up when we had two successive droughts, but Prince Edward Waterworks only treat less than 15% of what Morton Jaffray is supposed to be able to pump out, so while this is significant it is not critical. What Harare's five towns need is the end of more than 2 decades of ignoring maintenance in both the waterworks and the piping system. Then the same more than 2 decades of refusing to extend and maintain the sewage treatment works, plus adding the required modern works for Chitingwiza and Rua, will ensure that the water entering Morton Jaffray is reasonably clean to start with, slashing treatment costs. Harare's first piped water supply came from the tiny Cleveland Dam and the headwaters of the Mukivisi River. Around 3000 ha were declared off limits to people and farming, so that the water that flowed into the dam was very clean and germ-free. This water flowed downhill to the top of Artman Hill in the middle of future Botanic Gardens and then down into what is now the city center. It was so clean no one pushed for treatment. That admittedly only worked because it came from a people-free and farm-free headwaters, but still. In the 1920s Seek Dam was built and a proper waterworks put in because we now were using the Manyam flowing through a lot of farms from Marandera Way. That waterworks was completely rebuilt in the early 1970s, and the storage tripled with Arava Dam added just upstream of Seek Dam and able to refill the smaller dam. More sections were added over the decades until the early 1990s, when the remarkable city council of the 1980s simply doubled what was there in size and put in the second pipeline to Harare. These were not expanded to keep pace with population and were not properly maintained. Planned modern sewage works at Nyatsam for Chitingwiza and on the Rua River for eastern Harare and Rua were never built. So Lake Chavero is the most polluted lake in Zimbabwe. This means that treating the water, even when the waterworks are actually working, is pricey. Apparently Harare now uses 10 chemicals to do this. Harare had one bright idea, prepaid water meters, and put in 4 small pilot schemes to choose the best. These have been abandoned and are now just ordinary meters. Yet ZISA, by putting households and small businesses on prepaid meters, slashed administration costs, eliminated bad debt from the vast number of small users, was now able to chase down the big users who were slow payers, and now can maintain its grid and start buying new power stations. Harare could have done the same. Now vast sums are needed to catch up on maintenance and lack of expansion, replace a large swathe of the piping, and ensure the water going into the waterworks is reasonably clean to start with.